This is Dan Bjorklund, July 20th. This is my favorite time of the year. I am a professed genetics geek, I will admit it. I love to try to figure out the male and the female inbreds that make up the hybrids that we plant. I've been doing this for years. Or down in Ames, you've got the Iowa State Research Farm, and then you also have the USDA Gem Farm, which basically preserves all of the genetics from the open pollinated corn that our great-great-grandfathers planted to some of the very first inbreds that were used in the hybrids that were initially produced, and that ancestry follows through to today. And so I'm going to show you just a couple of things today just to hopefully increase your interest in at least paying attention a little bit to some of the phenotypical characteristics of the hybrids you plant. And if you do this, you actually will be able to determine a lot of times that you do have good diversity. You'll be able to determine, you'll be able to see the diversity that is in your fields. And to me, diversifying is the best way to reduce risk, no matter what we do, whether it's a financial investing, growing corn, growing soybean, whatever it is. So let's take a look at some of the more common genetics that are used today, and we'll keep it simple. Won't go into the B73s and the B37s and the B14 stiff stock population that came out of Iowa State on the female side, crossed by the Mo 17 and the Ohio 43 and the 153R that were some of the iconic males that were used that caused hybrids to respond differently to nitrogen applications, where some are nitrogen hogs at the end, some are potassium hogs. All of those types of things, it would take a workshop, couple days to really go over that type of information. We're going to keep it simple today, and you'll see what I mean. Now we're going to look at some particular phenotypical situations. Obviously, when we get to VT and the tassels emerge and then we get silks out, obviously we have some different looks. So you can see here we got that slight pink. This particular company has anywhere from pink to really dark purple silks. That's based off of a particular female that they've used. So if you look at the male, that main spoke is 12 inches. That's pretty big. That's very characteristic of a couple particular males that are used. And you'll see this pattern of that large main spoke and silks like this in 80 to 90% of this particular company. A lot of you have planted genetics from this company over the years. Now I'm going to go and we're going to look at another one. Okay, here's another company that almost has white silks on just about everything, and there's a particular Iowa State female. Kind of gives you that really upright look, almost like that pineapple look. Used to call that a B73. It's not that anymore. That was the original female inbred out of the stiff stock population out of Iowa State, and it's been modified multiple times, but that in that genetics, that ancestry still comes through phenotypically. So you'll see this look. And then what's really interesting is look at the main spoke here. Whereas it was 12 inches on that first one, right here we've got it down about 8. So the main spoke is smaller, and you've got the side bracts almost the same size as the main spoke. I call this the claw effect, and I see that in a lot of one particular company's genetics. So what does that say about these two that we've just looked at? I showed you one with the pink to purple silks, the really long main spoke. Those phenotypical characteristics basically are there because of the inheritance from the males and females that were used. This one we just looked at here has the white silks and the claw tassel, much smaller main spoke and quite a few side branches. So why do you care? Well, number one, you care because if you've got fields that have those two different looks, you know that you have diversity because you've got different genetics out there. And man, we know from the past, looking at corn with different brand names, that it's tough to find diversity. And sometimes you can be planting the same hybrid in different brands, different bags, and not even know it. And you can kind of determine that by looking at the seed tags, and the variety number that is on the seed tags will carry over. But another way is just to use your own observation skills like we have here and just look for those similarities. Guys, if we could just get to be planting these two types, just focus on these two types, we would have diversity and we could reduce the risk of getting too many acres to one style of hybrid. And if the weather, if disease, if something came in and hit that particular genetic type hard, and you had all of that planted on your acres, it could be not good. So that's Genetics 101 for today. Really short video. If you're interested in this, in taking a deeper dive, I've got my email address attached. I'm always interested. I love genetics. I find this time of the year fascinating to see what people are doing. As I drive by and look at fields and see things that are stripped out there, it's fascinating to see what the tassels look like, what the colors look like, what the silks look like, and are people diversified or are they not? With that, Dan Bjorklund signing off till next time.